If you could ask anyone about what is the flashiest move in the NBA, chances are they will say the ankle breaker. What makes this move so great is that it is solid proof that your dribble was so good it caused the opponent to off balance and fall. Trust me, there is no better feeling than this. Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be talking about the flashiest ankle breaker moves in the NBA. Some of these are so amazing that you will find them funny. I know you must be wondering, who did these amazing ankle breakers and what makes them so flashy? Well, stick around till the end as we answer these questions and more as we delve into the intricacies surrounding whose ankles got broken. Without further ado, let us begin. Number 1. Jayson Tatum ankle breaker on Paul George. Jayson Tatum has emerged as one of the best players in the league in recent times. This could be showcased by the fact that he became the first player in Celtic history to average 30-plus points per game for a whole season in the 2022-23 season. However, Tatum had Paul George guarding him, another elite player who has been one of the Clippers' best players for ages. However, things didn't work out for George when he came up against Tatum. In a match between the two, Tatum starts to drive in from the right, but as he enters the three-point line, he sharply crosses over to the left and steps back. George is completely deceived by that fake drive-in and falls back to the floor. As he falls, Tatum shoots for three without hesitation, which he buries, topping off an amazing ankle breaker. Number 2. Russell Westbrook ankle breaker on Ben Simmons. This must be one of the simplest ankle breakers you will ever see. Yes, it does contain high-profile players that are involved, but in actual reality, it is quite simply the most plain and effective way you can pull off an ankle breaker. Credit to Russell Westbrook for making it look so simple. It starts with him driving in from the left. However, instead of driving in, he just takes a step forward aggressively and then bounces the ball with his left while coming to a sudden stop. Simmons, on the other hand, was guarding him and was already backing off. So when Westbrook came to a sudden stop, Simmons misbalanced and fell to the floor. Westbrook, seeing how much space he has now, shoots and buries the two-pointer. Number 3. CJ McCollum ankle breaker on Donte DiVincenzo. CJ McCollum has to be one of the more underrated players in the NBA. The guy has it all: dribbling, passing, and scoring. This was demonstrated when he came up against the Bucks closely guarded by Donte DiVincenzo. McCollum drove in hard from the left side. However, before he could enter the D of the Bucks, he quickly stopped his dribble. DiVincenzo tried to do the same, but his legs gave way under him, and he slipped ahead, dropping to the floor. McCollum took full advantage, crossing to the right before scoring a lovely floater. That really kept the crowd going, I must say. Goes on to say how much of a talented player CJ McCollum is. Number 4. Jamal Murray ankle breaker on Steven Adams. Now this is one crazy ankle breaker that will really get you excited. We all know Jamal Murray has an amazing skill set when it comes to dribbling and handles, but the moves he pulled off against big man Steven Adams are just amazing. Adams might be known as one of the humblest personalities on the court, but he was ruthlessly dribbled by Murray. It all started when Murray got the ball on the right side of the court. He began his moves with a crazy array of handles, which included several crossovers that really made Adams lose his footing. The fact that he was a center guarding a point guard didn't help things, since centers are big and somewhat slow. The move ended with Adams breaking his left ankle and falling down, while Murray stepped back and dropped a beauty of a three-pointer. Crazy stuff. Number 5. Darren Collison ankle breaker on DeAndre Ayton. This is another one of those classic ankle breakers that came from a sharp crossover, and it was done by one unlikely candidate, Darren Collison. Don't get me wrong, Collison is an amazing player, but in most cases, only the best ball handlers in the league manage to break ankles. It all started when Collison drove in from the right, looking for a wide lane to the basket. He was guarded by Ayton, who, as we all know, is a decent defender. But all that was needed to break his ankles was this superb crossover by Collison, who crossed sharply to his left. With Ayton on the floor and an open lane to drive in, all that was needed for Collison to do was to drive in and score an easy basket. Number 6. James Harden ankle breaker on Jamal Murray. There was a time when James Harden used to be one of the best players in the league when he used to play for the Rockets. With insane stats, it came as no surprise that he was the main man for Houston. This was shown when he snapped Jamal Murray's ankles. Murray might have caused ankle breakers of his own, but he was on the receiving end against Harden. It started when Murray's superb defense caused Harden to back off, but like a lion, he came back roaring and again took him on. In the end, it was a sharp behind-the-back dribble that left Murray on the floor. Harden paused for effect and then let loose a deep three, which he buried comfortably. Credit to Murray, though, he didn't give up even after falling and made it really hard for Harden to finish the play. Number 7. Kevin Durant ankle breaker on Julius Randle. Kevin Durant has to be one of the best players in the league when it comes to scoring. The guy is completely unguardable. But he didn't have to bring out his bag of his tricks to drop Julius Randle. A simple crossover was enough. It all started when KD got the ball and made a little ball fake toward the left before crossing to the right. And it was not even a sharp crossover, so I don't know what Randle was doing, but he slipped, giving KD an open space to shoot. But maybe he was himself surprised at the ease with which Randle's ankles gave away, that he passed it to someone else. That was one weird yet entertaining ankle breaker. Number 8. Stephen Curry's ankle breaker on Julius Randle. Julius Randle might need to get his ankles checked because our next ankle breaker also features him. But this time he gets destroyed by a vicious Steph Curry move. Curry, as we all know, is easily the best three-point shooter of all time. But people sometimes underrate his dribbling ability because he really destroyed Randle in this play. He drives in from the left, closely guarded by Randle. Curry pauses and turns, looking like he is going back around. But out of nowhere, he again turns and continues his dribble. This stop, turn, and go really dazzled Randle, who couldn't keep up and completely loses balance. Curry easily goes on to score a bucket to earn huge applause from the crowd, leaving Julius Randle lying on the floor. Number 9. Lance Stephenson ankle breaker on Jeff Green. Lance Stephenson is known as the Joker of the league, thanks to his crazy theatrics and fun personality. Due to this, many people undermine his actual ability on the court. This was apparent when he came up against Jeff Green. Only a few seconds were left in the quarter, and Stephenson's Lakers were leading the game. As it was probably the last play of the game, Stephenson decided to entertain the crowds and started dishing out some of his movies. After some hezzy dribbles, he again hesitated, faked a drive, and dropped a sharp behind-the-back dribble. He did this all without moving, but it was so fast that it confused Green, who stumbled and fell backward. The bench went crazy, and Stephenson started a funny dance in celebration. It truly was a move full of amazing skills and humor. Number 10. Kevin Durant ankle breaker on Daniel Gafford. I previously said Kevin Durant has to be one of the best scorers in NBA history, and this ankle breaker is proof of that. He received the ball on top of the key and took on Gafford. First, he crossed to the left and then immediately crossed to the right. This flurry of moves was enough for Gafford to completely lose his footing. But what made the move so amazing was how he fell by completely splitting his legs. It was quite embarrassing for Gafford, to be honest, but it did bring up some crazy reactions from the crowd and the Nets bench. Number 11. James Harden ankle breaker on Wesley Johnson. You have seen some crazy ankle breakers up till now, but trust me, nothing beats this James Harden ankle breaker on Wesley Johnson. It has to be one of the craziest ankle breakers of all time. Yes, you heard that right. It is so iconic that it has to be one of the best dribbling theatrics in recent times. It happened during the crazy Harden dominance era when he was the main man for the Rockets. It all started with him starting at the center of the court. He dropped some crazy fast handles, which included some crossovers and between-the-legs dribbles. After faking from the right, he crossed and drove in from the left. After that, Johnson was already all over the place. To make things worse, Harden stepped back from there, which left Johnson stumbling and dropping awkwardly to the floor. And to top it off, Harden paused and looked at Johnson. That really made the crowd crazy. After his teammates realized and started to run to block him and went for the three, which he, of course, scored. It was the perfect play, which had the perfect ankle breaker and the perfect finish. James Harden sure was one of the best players in the world during his Rocket days. Thanks for taking the time to watch our video. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a new video from us. If you did enjoy the video, give it a like and leave a comment. And if you have any suggestions or requests, let us know in the comments. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you in the next one.